Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone had a great and wonderful day. Sorry, I've been starting up a little bit late on these past times, but I'm trying to get myself back in order. So, without further ado, we have a little bit of an update on the trans manifesto and stuff like that, and what's been going on here. Now, I normally don't like to keep talking about the same stuff over and over again. However, this is a big deal because they have been hiding stuff for the longest time, for months, and they have been giving reasons onto why they're not releasing stuff, etc., etc. And, I was giving, the cops some benefit of the doubt, obviously, because, in court proceedings, you can't just release certain material or evidence that's out there until, the court is done. It kind of becomes an issue if you do so. Unless in this instance it was leaked, which I don't know what the ramifications there per se, but again, we'll go into this here that we have is Metro Department of Law has released a summary outlining the court proceedings related to why they have yet to release the manifesto. We have this here. Metropolitan Nashville Police Department officers and detectives, along with Tennessee Bureau of Investigation officers, quickly arrived at the Covenant School on March 27th. The assailant's automobile was secured and inventoried. Officers recovered journals from the automobile containing writings of the assailant. Those became part of the criminal investigative file. Pursuant to Rule 16 of the Tennessee Rules of Criminal Procedure, records in a criminal investigative file are not subject to disclosure under the Tennessee Public Records Act (TPRA) until the investigation in any related criminal case is complete. MNPD provided a copy of the journals to Metro Legal to review what should be produced in accordance with the TPRA. Before that process was completed, multiple parties, including news media and Second Amendment activist groups, filed suit in the Chancery Court of Davidson County to compel production of the journals and the other items in the investigative file. The Chancellor consolidated the cases and entered a scheduling order. Having heard from many concerned parents and family members of the deceased, Metro Legal asked the court to provide some additional time for Covenant parents and the school to discuss retaining legal counsel to represent their views as victims of this horrible crime. In the meantime, Metro Legal complied with the May 4th court order as amended on May 11th and filed under seal for the court's in-camera review, 1. An unredacted copy of the journals, and 2. A proposed redacted copy of the journals based on our interpretation of the TPRA. MPD approved this limited release because they wanted to answer some of the questions being raised about the crime and thought that releasing this redacted version would not harm the ongoing investigation. However, those documents remain under seal, pursuant to the terms of the court order. Metro Legal has not shared the documents filed under seal with other attorneys in the case, the mayor, council members, or anyone else. The TPRA contains a school safety exception that exempts from public disclosure items relating to the safe operation of schools. Metro Legal redacted certain portions of the journals related to the specific planning of the attack on the school. We did not redact comments on various issues and what could be considered especially the motivation for carrying out this horrific crime. After the court granted their motion to intervene, the Covenant parties argued that none of the journals should be released. The arguments raised by the Covenant parties are multifaceted by based, in part or on a broader interpretation of the school safety exception in the TPRA. The court had heard arguments and took the matter under advisement. Subsequently, the petitioners filed a notice of appeal to the Tennessee Court of Appeals on the narrow question whether Covenant parties have a right to intervene. The appeal raises important issues about the rights of victims of crime to be heard in the cases under the TPRA. Metro strongly supports the rights of the Covenant parties to be heard. The Court of Appeals stayed the proceedings in Chancery Court pending a ruling on the intervention issue. The Court of Appeals heard arguments on October 16th and took the case under advisement. Until this matter is resolved by the courts, Metropolitan Nashville is prohibited from releasing the journals. The journals are filed under seal and with the Chancery Court and may not be released by MPD, the mayor, Metro Legal, or any other local authority. Okay. But here's the thing, though. Now that it's been released, what's stopping you from doing it now? I mean, at this point, you can't do it, right? And we're going to go in a bit further than this. I don't know too much about this because I'm not a lawyer. So I can't go down and break this to you guys as well. But I think maybe I'll do another little video of something like this with Kata. I think maybe talking about this. I don't know if he has. And he may be able to break it down for us that he can explain it. I'm not going to go do nitty gritty and talk about all kinds of lawyer stuff that I don't know. Because, well, I'm just going to give you information that could either be a lie or truth. I have no idea how this works legally. I do know, however, that at least in the very least, if it's been released already, how does this work, and what's stopping them from releasing it now, considering a lot of the information is already produced? Well, we have an attorney that does this, that's saying stuff like from the Tennessee Star here, that says this: the Metro and official claims that Covenant Killer's records are sealed and can't be released don't hold water, attorney says. Now Metro Nashville's top attorney released an urgent statement Thursday evening claiming the Covenant School Killers manifesto is under court seal and can't be released. Not true, says attorney for plaintiffs in lawsuits seeking to make the records public. Metro Law Director Wally Dietz, pictured above, rushed out a summary on the release of the so-called manifesto. The voluminous writings of Audrey Elizabeth Hale, 28-year-old woman identifying as a transgender male who in late March fatally shot 3 9-year-olds and 3 staff members of Covenant Presbyterian School before being shot dead by police. Dietz claims reiterate that what local enforcement officials have already noted in court filings that there is a redacted version of the manifesto, but the records are filed under seal in Davidson County Chancery Court. He insists the Metro Nashville Police Department is forbidden to release either version of the manifesto until the legal matters surrounding them are settled. NMPD approved his limited release because they wanted to answer some of the questions being raised about the crime and thought that releasing the redacted version would not harm the ongoing investigation. However, those documents remain under seal. Metro's legal chief wrote adding that the pursuant blah 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 and with anyone else. That's pretty much what we recapped already, right? So it goes on here. Goes on to say that Nicholas Berry, senior counsel for civil rights law firm of America First Legal, the firm representing the Tennessee Star in the plaintiff lawsuit seeking the release of the documents, said the Chancery Court has taken no action that would prevent Metro Nashville from releasing any documents relevant to the Covenant shooting. That's interesting. The court, complying with the Tennessee Public Records Act, required the documents requested, including the Covenant Shooters Manifesto, to be submitted under seal for court's review, Berry said. The burden of proof to justify withholding Hale's manifesto is still on Metro Nashville. The court has not ordered that these records remain sealed until the court decides whether they should be released. The decision to release records in Metro's decision is Metro's burden to prove that there is a valid justification for their non-disclosure, the attorney said. At a minimum, those records should be released immediately. So, coming from an attorney that is obviously either in the case or what have you for these people, it's clearly saying that, they're lying to you, and they could be releasing this anytime that they want, they're just not doing it. Well, that's fantastic. So, MPD, what is your ball game here? What are you hiding? What is really going on? Is there more to this manifesto that is saying this person is going to go out and kill Christians? Because if there's something like that in the manifesto, then that would really hurt the left, because they have really been going after Christians lately and hating Christians for some god-apparent reason. And now there is a shooting that was from a Christian school, and I'm not saying that this is something in the notepad here or in the manifesto. I am just making conspiracy theories or suggestions that might be the case. Because there has to be a reason why they're hiding this. This is really too awkward or weird for them to really be hiding something this much compared to any of the other mass shootings that they weren't hiding before. So what's really in this notepad here? In this manifesto? He noted that MPD Assistant Chief Mike Hagar stated in a declaration in the lawsuit that releasing the redacted version of the writings would not impede any investigation. Conversely, law enforcement officials have cited provisions under the Tennessee Public Records Act that allow police to block the release of records that could harm an ongoing investigation. Diaz says Metro legal redacted portions of the journals related to the specific planning of the attack on the school. It did not redact comments on what could be considered expressions of the motivation for carrying out this horrific crime, he says. He claims. My apologies. But before the process was completed, Stars News Digital Media, a parent company of the Tennessee Star, the Tennessee Firearms Association, the Tennessean, and the National Police Association (NBD) for the manifesto, said, What he fails to know is the lawsuits were filed in early May after Metro and Nashville refused to release the school the records, citing an ongoing investigation in a crime in which the only suspect, Hale, is dead. Chancery Court Judge Aisha Miles was not set to hold the required show cause hearing in May on whether Metro Nashville was justified in withholding the records, but Covenant Presbyterian Church, its private elementary school, and the parents of the school students sought to intervene in the case. They want Hale's manifesto and related documents permanently sealed from the public. The plaintiffs appealed Miles' ruling allowing the parents, church, and school to intervene, a challenge that remains unsettled. And the show cause hearing is an old wild appeals on deliberates. Until the matter is resolved by the courts, Metropolitan Police is prohibited from releasing journals by the authority, etc., etc. So we've gone over this. Barry rejects Diet's assertion of powerlessness. He said Metro Nashville has authority to release the detective records at any time, and that time is now. Anything else is just a distraction and not reality, the attorney said. Dan Lennington, attorney for the Tennessee Star and civil lawsuit against the Federal Bureau of Investigation, said that he's not aware of any court order that would prohibit MMPD from releasing the manifesto. If there's such a court order, I would like to see it, said Lennington, deputy counsel for Wisconsin Institute Law and Liberty of Milwaukee-based civil rights law firm. Diaz's admission of the radical version also contradicts the FBI's argument that the release of any of the documents would harm the ongoing investigation, Lennington said. MMPD and FBI are taking different positions in different lawsuits in an apparent attempt to keep the records from the public eye, the attorney said. Diaz's summary of events curiously arrived on the heels of a tweet from the Nashville Tea Party asking if there was anything that would prevent law enforcement officials from immediately releasing all the manifestos. Or all the manifesto. So we're going to go over here this, and it's a 10-minute video, but I don't think we need to go too much about it. Diaz's version of events also allows conservative commanders to screencast release of the images of 3 pages confirmed that to be from Hale's writings. Screeds that detail the killer's plan for Death Day, as Hale put it, in far-left triads against white people, and particularly white children. I wish to shoot you, okay, we all read with the stuff that, or read all that stuff, alright? Metro Nashville immediately launched an investigation into the leaked records, placing MPD officers on administrative leave. Attorneys for the Tennessee on Tuesday filed a motion in the federal lawsuit asking the judge to allow discovery into the leaked manifesto documents. The FBI has refused to confirm their authenticity despite confirmations from the MPD and lawmakers who have viewed the records. So overall, they're hiding something, and we need to get more information about this. We need to press harder. And as we get seen here, is that there's more than meets the eye. I think they're hiding something. I think there's something in that manifesto that's not being released to the public that would probably make them want to hide it. And due to I think personally, I think it has to do with Christians. I truly believe so, because there is no reason for them to hide this manifesto if it was just against white people or etc. And now that it's been released, now they're pressing even harder to seal it or to hide it. Why? The only other thing that could be worse than the white people is the Christians. So that's the only other thing that I could possibly think of that would be worse to be released. And if there's anything else that is worse than the Christians things, then I don't even know what could be worse than that, honestly, because what is it, like kill black people, or is that what is the actual thing in that manifesto? Release it so we can know. You're hiding something here. It's clearly obvious, and we need to get to the bottom of it. Keep on pressing, boys and ladies, so that way we can get the true justification, so people can sleep at night knowing the true motivation behind these people and these psychopaths, so we can stop this stuff from happening. Alright guys, that's it for the video. Like, subscribe, share. As always, take care, my friends.
I'm disgusted by what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted, because it's algorithmic disease, the social media.